certified real.
Hey, I'm a little excited.
You heard it here first. Certified real. Airborne.
You are now listening to Real Talk Podcast.
This is certified.
What's good, people? We back. It's the Real Talk Podcast. It's me, Beastly Adams. I'm here with the guys. Say what up, people.
What up?
All right. Hope y'all been, if you haven't already, like, subscribe to the page. The Real Talk Podcast is on YouTube, also on Instagram. Follow us so you can stay updated on all those new videos. All right, guys, we're here this week to discuss movie franchises. Should they stay? Should they go? What do you guys think?
I like movie franchises, man. I don't think none of them should go. I think they all should stay.
Whoa.
That's a lie.
Whoa.
I ain't gonna say.
That was my opinion a lot. That was my opinion a lot. My opinion is they should all stay.
All right. That's your opinion. Okay. Max, what you got?
I feel like everything has its course. You get to a certain point where it's time to, as you know, X says he loves to reboot, but just running it into the ground like other series. Matter of fact, the Fast and Furious series, that sometimes it's just time to end this.
How dare you?
You just got to know when to pull the trigger.
How dare you?
Did you see the latest one?
No.
All right, then you can't even make that comment.
No.
We're gonna
get into all that.
We're gonna talk about that though. But Terrell, what you got?
I was gonna say about franchises that I do think they should stay. Some should stay. Some should have just stayed. One single movie. I like which one?
Yeah, like what's the example of one that should have stayed a single film?
Taken.
Mm.
That we didn't need a Taken 2 and a Taken 3.
Very good example.
No, that
Dirty
nigga's
Dancing?
terrible father. Kids always getting kidnapped.
We didn't need
I think
Dirty
we got the
Dancing
point
Hawaiian
after
Nights.
one film.
I have to agree with Terrell. Like you can, it's a case by case basis. Not every film franchise deserves to be a franchise. Like you have to earn that right in order to be called a franchise. I'm sure Xavier wants to keep every franchise alive, but I don't see you looking for the Leprechaun reboot anytime soon. And we have to keep it. But are you looking for it? That's the question.
It don't matter if I'm looking for it.
No, you said you like all franchises.
Yeah, that don't mean I'm looking for all franchises.
So you look.
There are people out there that love the Leprechaun reboot, Leprechaun film.
You look like you backstepped.
Sharknado.
X. What's the exact reason why you like franchises in the first place? Like is it the business side of it? Is it you just like seeing part 2s and part 3s of everything? Like what's the reason?
I like franchises because I like that people go to explore different aspects of the film. Obviously it gets boring if you got a franchise that's doing the same thing. Like example, Taken is kind of the same thing every time. Like obviously it gets boring, right? But there are franchises out there that gives you something new in every film, and why wouldn't you want that? Like how we talked about before. Certain characters that are interesting on screen that they might not have planned to be interesting on screen. You can make a second film or a third film or so forth to explore that side of it. Or you have horror films, right, where you got this killer touch on in this area or touch on that, and you thinking, man, I wonder if this happened or that happened. So you make a film with that happening in that film, and it might be interesting. It might hit, it might not hit, but you won't know until you do it. So that's what I enjoy about it. I enjoy seeing different avenues explored, giving different directors opportunities to explore those different avenues, right? So you might have Reggie might direct the first film and people like it, and then I might direct the second film, take it to another level. Gills might direct the third film, take it another level. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got different visions on a different film. Just like some of my favorites, like The Nightmare on Elm Street. You know what I'm saying? They got different directors, gave a different approach to each film, and it gave you something different, right? So it's the same antagonist, protagonist type film, but it's something different. That's what I enjoy about franchise.
I don't think anybody's saying we don't like it. Like I fuck with the franchise. I just feel like sometimes it's like you're going somewhere wild with it. I mean, the direction of your project is your business, I feel, but sometimes that shit just be trash. Like Sharknado, like that's one like that just popped in my mind.
I mean, that's just a bad movie, though. I mean,
but the going thing in it, I think it's supposed to be bad at this point.
Yeah, it's supposed to be bad, but that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, if you don't know what's gonna happen, right? Like, no, the person who sat down and thought of Sharknado did not think that movie or how terrible that movie is would be what it is now, up Sharknado 8 or whatever the case may be. Like, they didn't know that, right? So they're going off, and that's what I feel like Fast and Furious is doing. They're going off the sales, the fans are saying, like, yo, we want to see another Fast and Furious. We want to see another Sharknado. So with that idea, then why wouldn't you want to do it? And now directors and creators are now doing their films where they're leaving it open for part 2, just in case they do get that. You know what I'm saying? And then there's films out there that should have got a franchise that didn't get a franchise because people had that type of idea behind it. Like, oh, it don't need to get a franchise or whatever the case may be. Like me and Gil's talked before, like Jumper. Like, that definitely should have got a second film. You know, like, why didn't it, you know, whatever reason. But you know what I'm saying? But I think if you can get somebody, if there's an interest for it, then you should do it. There are literally people that go see those Sharknado films. So keep making them. You got an audience that you're.
I've never met one, but I can believe it.
Yo, I just love the fact that we're able to create imaginary worlds on paper and project it, you know, publish it in a book, and then take that same story, project it on screen in a movie theater, or turn it into a video game, or take the characters and make Halloween costumes out of it. Like, that shit is amazing. Like, you do that, you look at that with like the Marvel universe, you got a whole bunch of, you got the Hulk costume and Spider-Man and Iron Man and all that stuff.
And each little thing is like its own franchise within itself.
Exactly. And I'm looking on this website too, and it's like they're giving all the statistics on all the franchises, and you know, you have Marvel Cinematic Universe as its own line, then you also have Spider-Man as its own line. X-Men. Iron Man as his own line, Captain America as his own line.
Yeah, All Wars is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Harry Potter.
There are some that I agree with that I could say like, hey, maybe we should chill out with that. But then when I sit down and I look at it and I watch some of these films, I'm like, yo, they can explore that, or they can explore that, or I wonder how that life was, or how that, you know, how that is. You know what I'm saying? I think that's interesting. Like the other day, I was talking to my pops about John Wick. Like, John Wick to me is like that Taken type film, but there's so much action that it's entertaining. It's entertaining, right? He's literally doing the same thing every film, right? Just like Taken, it's the same plot, same things going on, right? But there's other unique characters around him, like, for example, Common's character in that film. Like, it might be interesting to see a movie based on Common's character in the film. You know, that's branching off, doing a franchise, you know what I'm saying? Different things like that. And I feel like that's what film is about. And it's entertaining, and why wouldn't you want to do that?
Okay. I think what makes something like John Wick such a successful franchise, not just, you know, the star power of Keanu Reeves and the different people in there, but the world that they created in there. Like, there's their own Assassin's Code and world in there, like with tokens and freaking different rules and like hotels, like all that's the real main star of the franchise. So even if Keanu Reeves leaves one day, they can still continue that franchise, John Wick, or build off and make a sort of like Hobbs and Shaw did off of Fast and Furious. They can do like a spin-off or something like that, even if you're not getting Keanu Reeves in that movie, because that world is already in itself something great. So I don't think every film focuses on that, and that's why I don't think they all should deserve franchises. You have to build that world in order for people to adapt people in. If you don't create like an adaptation, like a book or like a comic book or, you know, movie, I think those are some of the most successful ones.
I mean, every film tries to build a world. It might not be good enough, but every film builds a world. Which is why I'm saying, like, but what I feel like we're forgetting is that there's an audience for everything. Like, they didn't make 8 Sharknadoes if there's no audience for 8 Sharknadoes to get watched. So we might not like Sharknadoes, but they made 8 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people are watching those films. That's why they are making.
Like, yeah. Like, it's not like
it don't matter what it's for. People are watching them and they're getting made. Is my point. Like, why did they make 10, 15? Michael Myers, but Jason. You know, because people like them and people are going to watch them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they continue to make them. So I'm all for it.
So, real quick, what's y'all top three movie franchises all time? All genres. This is everything.
Our favorite or the
top three? Your personal top three, all time. Terrell, you go first.
Going first. All right, so we got the Dark Knight trilogy.
I like it. I
No,
like
he
it.
going to that. You know he was going to that.
We got the Saw movies.
Okay.
We got the Saw movies and shit, man. The Matrix.
Ooh.
Those are my
Nigga,
top
stealing
three.
all my answers.
Why you lying, Gills? Well, come on,
Hey,
you know,
swear to God,
you know
like-
my three
like,
choices
yeah,
was
come
fire.
on,
Now you
sis.
want to
No,
take
but-
my? Come on,
Yeah.
now.
You got
Definitely.
2 of my 3. You got 2 of my
Come on,
3.
just say Mission
Yeah.
Impossible. What's the
That's
other?
exactly
Why
what
would
he
I-
was going to
why
say.
would I do
That's why
that?
he said
Why
you
would I
got
do
2
that?
of my 3.
James,
That's
Why
why
would
he
I
said
do
that.
that? Why
James
would I do that?
Bond.
You
Why
go
would I do
James
that?
Bond,
Why would I do that?
Mission
Why would I do that?
Impossible, and then some dumbass one.
I'm glad you guys don't know me at all. That's good.
Facts.
That's
You,
good.
we'll get-
definitely was
Hey.
going to say
Yeah,
Mission
yeah.
Impossible, bro.
No, I wasn't. It wasn't even in my. You know what? Okay. Yeah.
All right,
Ain't
Gills, you're
no
up.
way we talking franchise and you didn't think of Tom Cruise.
I wasn't. This Tom Cruise whole thing. You really believe that? That's the crazy things. And you took a joke
Everybody
and then you
believes
trolled
that.
to the
Everybody,
point
all
that you
four
made
of
it
us
real
believe
in your own mind.
Hey,
You
don't
need a
start this shit
therapist.
again. Hey,
You need a
don't
All
start
right,
this shit again.
so
All right,
Gills,
go ahead,
Gills,
Gil.
All
Let's
four.
get it.
Gills.
Yeah, your three.
Your three,
Come
top
on.
3 franchises. Hit it.
Oh, The Matrix, Dark Knight. The third I'm struggling with because
He's struggling because
I can go.
He's struggling because he don't want me to be right.
What? No, y'all niggas really believe I was gonna put Mission Impossible in my top 3s? Really?
Hey.
Why am I here, son? Why am I here? Like y'all know my answers already. Why am I here, son?
I know
All right,
it's in the
go
running.
ahead.
I know
What's
it's in the
number
running.
three?
It
number
wasn't.
three?
It was not in the runnings, and I
What's
don't know
number
what's
three?
wrong with y'all, son.
What's number
I don't know what's
three,
wrong with y'all. Son. Never mind.
What's
number
number
three,
three, yo? Come
Nah,
on,
fuck it.
damn.
Go.
No.
No,
What's
bro.
number
Like,
3?
y'all niggas got
What's
all the
number
answers.
three?
Y'all got all the answers. Y'all got all the
Well,
answers.
what's
Okay,
on
so
right now?
I got all the
Number
answers.
three.
Y'all got all
So
the
you
answers.
don't got all the answers.
X, give us your top 3 franchises, B.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know, it's tough. Nightmare on Elm Street.
I was surprised.
Purge. I fuck with the Purge.
I bet he said. I bet I know his last one. I bet I know the last one.
I don't know, man. The third one is always tough. I'm gonna go with the Fast and the Furious only because I like Fast.
Surprised you didn't say it. I'm surprised. I was shocked.
I was gonna say
That's
it.
on my list.
I
was
knew he
gonna
was
say
going. I was
it,
like,
but I don't
it
know
was
if
at
it's
least
my
it was
top
at
three.
least considerable.
Yeah,
It was at
was
least
considerable.
considerable on your shit. Beasley,
I
what
would
you
go
got?
with it. Fuck it. I'll do it
Yeah,
instead
I
of
told
Fast.
you. What you got, Beasley?
I want to hear Gills third.
Word.
No, we're done with that, man. Let's move on. What's
You
your
know
three?
it's third.
Come on. Banks, what's your 3 then?
Guys, it's not Mission Impossible. I know it's not. Come on. What's the
Okay,
third?
you don't know what it is. He said it's tough. Come on, move on.
Beasley, what's your 3? What's your 3?
All right. It's okay. I'm gonna go. It's Nightmare on Elm Street, Matrix, and Friday.
Okay.
Just to switch it up a little.
Ooh, comedy. Okay.
Yeah, Friday is
Okay.
definitely one of your top 3. I believe that one.
Yeah.
All right. The Dark Knight trilogy.
I thought he was gonna name it twice. I was like, damn, son.
Shit. Nah, the Dark Knight trilogy. The Lethal Weapon joints.
Really?
Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
And the Star Wars only because they had to. I'm not even a big fan, but because they had to build an entire world based off the shit like that.
No,
shit
you're a
branched
nerd.
off into.
You're a
That
nerd.
shit
Cut it
branched-
out.
I've never even seen all of them.
Oh, for
But that
real?
shit,
You know what
that shit branched into something like the way like it took over.
I've seen them
and
all.
shit.
Seen them all.
That
I've seen them all.
I
It's
think
great.
Star,
Great
I
stuff.
honestly think Star
That's a good
Wars
choice.
was easier than we think because it's really just a Western. in space.
That's crazy.
In a sense, I agree.
It
I
is a
agree.
Western.
There's
It's a Western in
yes.
space.
It is a Western.
That's crazy. Nobody said Marvel.
And a movie that
I feel like
felt,
that's a gimme. I feel like Marvel's a gimme.
yeah, I felt that's what I felt like. I felt like that shit was like a cheat answer, low key. But
See what he did there? Cheek answer, low key.
Yo, I got a question. What do y'all think makes a good franchise? Like what do y'all think elements that's needed to make a good franchise? Like Gil said, building the world is important. Like what do y'all think is good elements to make a good franchise?
Strong acting. I feel like strong acting it got to be from somebody. If you're gonna run a franchise, there has to be there has to be those characters that can help carry the franchise forward. Well, I'll give one thing because I don't wanna. We can just go around and we'll figure it out.
What you got, Gil? You sticking with the world?
Strong acting is one of them.
Like if we right now about to sit down and create a franchise, a film that's going to be a franchise, like what are the things that you feel is a must?
Yeah, you need a strong story. If you build a strong like a foundation in your story, you just like if we go into what we just watched this past weekend, The Fast and Furious, that first movie resonated with so many people, and it was with actors that we've never really, we didn't really rock with like that. We didn't really know who Vin Diesel was at that time. We didn't know Paul Walker like that time, like as far as Paul Walker, who we think of now. We didn't think of, I mean, we've seen him in She's All That and stuff like that, but nothing like this. Like the story itself was so rooted in something as far as culture that people rocked with, as far as cars, that now you can build off of that. But I think story is what you need.
What you
culture, story and culture.
Strong acting, story, culture.
The most important thing is likable characters. I feel like there has to be characters in that film. Even in the first film, you gotta build that up. Say if it's a new face, you gotta put them in a position in the story for them to do certain things and do heroic things for the audience to actually fuck with a certain character. Like for example, if you have a Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy, and you have Christian Bale doing all these different things, by the end of the movie and by the time you leave the theater, people should be like, yo, Christian Bale is dope. Like by the end of the film, he should be so dope that in the next couple of films that now the audience kind of knows him in a certain way. They expect certain things from him now. And that lore, yeah. Right. And that, I feel like that's what keeps certain franchises together, because that character is so heroic and so dope that they just want to keep seeing them do crazy shit.
Okay.
How about you, Beastie?
I think we got it pretty much. I don't know. I would say I don't know what else to say other than what y'all named. I would say what I would say is like creating a universe itself, but that's pretty much everything we just named. So just creating the universe itself that people can relate to, I guess. So relatability is, I guess.
I would say, I feel like if it's good enough, this won't matter. But I would say having a story that like everybody can follow, because I know even like the bigger universes, the ones that are like huge, like Matrix only got out 3 movies, but the universe of that shit is huge. Material that's like easy to follow, well, not necessarily easy, but like you have to like you can see the direction it's going. I see a lot of people lose interest in franchises because they don't understand the story. There's people who don't understand the Matrix. Like, so, and like that, for that, they're not a fan of it because they don't get what's going on. So I would say a plot that can keep the audience's attention and keep them involved, whatever that may be. That may fall under good story, may fall under a little bit of those everything that we said, but yeah, I feel that way. What about you, X?
I think the most important is something believable. I think you have to establish in your story that this is believable in the story.
even
Right,
if
and I
it's
think-
like a fictional thing.
Yeah, that's why I think that's honestly why
So
I
the
think.
story.
Yeah, I honestly think that's why Star Wars has been so long, Marvel has gone so long, Fast and Furious has gone so long because they established.
What are some franchises that you felt underperformed, or maybe they didn't end up exactly where you thought they should have been, and I guess it ultimately hurt the franchise? What are some franchises that you guys didn't live up to the potential that you thought they had? I have one particular in mind myself.
What is it?
Glass, the Unbreakable.
See, that's
That-
different. That's different.
You're dealing with
That's
Shyamalan. You're dealing
yeah,
with
that's
Shyamalan,
different
bro.
though. That's different though because
It
I don't
is.
think
You
I don't
mess
think
with Shyamalan,
I don't think
True.
he. I could be wrong, but I don't think he necessarily released
Expected
those films to be like that. Like I think he down the road, like force connected them in a way, if that makes sense. Right? Like I don't
only
think
the first one. Only the first one. He didn't. I don't think he planned on the
Yeah.
first one being part of that franchise. But when he made Split, he was like, "All right, I can tie this."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what I think he did. So
Yeah.
I don't think like nowadays initially people come out like, yo, this is gonna be a franchise and we're gonna write it like a franchise. I felt like he didn't do that initially. I think he did that like later down the road. He saw a gem in it that he could connect. Like what they did with Creed, like what they did with Rocky and Creed. Like he just caught onto a gem and said, oh, we can connect this and make a whole nother franchise.
Which is not necessarily, but that's not necessarily,
that's not a bad-
wrong.
Yeah, but
you can get away with it, like Jumanji. You can 100%.
But I can't.
get
I
away
just feel like I can't
I feel
blame
like
it. I can't like down talk it or play it as if
yeah.
it's a bad franchise because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. I feel like there's been bad franchises that they said, yo, let's do a franchise, or this is gonna be a franchise, and it just didn't work out. But then
I just felt as if when it's something that delicate, because like off that one movie, you built up this huge ass following. Unbreakable was like that was like my shit. Like that was like one of my like I was like I fucked with it just because I fucked with like it wasn't like this straightforward. It wasn't because of the action in the movie, but it wasn't like it was something like you actually had to think on. So when Split comes back out, and I mean, which are like a lot of his movies, when Split comes out, I'm like, oh, okay, that's dope. Like they trying to, and then you hear about Glass, and I'm like, yo, that of course, big Sam Jackson fan. So I'm all over it. And then for the movie to be that anticlimactic, it was because that's what it was for me. Like it ended in like you would never guess that ending and not in a good way. So what are some franchises that you have
there's a lot of them.
that
think the first-
underwhelmed?
For me, the first one that came out was the Scorpion King. I think that was like one that I just was mad. And I don't know if it's because like I think The Rock just blew up and he was just bigger than the movie. But I enjoyed Brandon Fraser's The Mummies. And then they they teased The Rock in one of them as the Scorpion King. Then they had this big thing about how The Rock is about to be the Scorpion King. And then they was gonna make that into a whole thing, you know what I'm saying? And then they came out, the first movie was, I would say, above average, decent film. I enjoyed it. And then after that, it was just not him anymore. It was like B movies type things. So I think that's, for me, was one of the more disappointing ones.
The DVD bin at the beginning of Walmart, that Scorpion King is always in one of those. Like whether it be, it's never the first one. It's always like the second or the third one that's in there somewhere. That little what was it? $5 movies. Yes, that shit always in there.
Another one, I don't want to backtrack, but I feel like a good franchise, you have to also up the stakes every film, every single time.
Oh, yes.
You got to up the stakes.
Which is why building a world is important.
Yeah, if you don't up the stakes, the shit's going to be whacked by the second or third film.
Another one real quick, Alien vs. Predator. I was so mad
They bombed
at those films. Like I liked the first one because it's annihilated, and I thought it was dope that we finally got a black woman in sci-fi that's kind of like, boom, I'm here, and they kind of accepted it and they had something there. But that second one was terrible, and then they started doing like the Predator films that started to get kind of whack. Now the newest Predator, I think, is a nice step in the right direction.
Where they actually go to the planet. You talk about that one?
Yeah, that's the Predators. That's the one with the S with Lawrence Fishburne. That wasn't that good. But that whole franchise, I felt like it had so much potential with Arnold Schwarzenegger and then what's his name?
Danny
Glover, which was a decent one, and then it just went down. It just went downhill after that. I always wondered why why Arnold didn't want to do another Predator film.
Another one, Jeepers Creepers.
Potential. They
rebooted that though.
I was never
the first two for me were. I was like, okay, I fucks with it. And then that last one, y'all told me not to watch it, and I finally watched it, and I was just like,
that third one is goofy, right?
Terrible. It was terrible. The graphics, everything was terrible.
Okay, what you got, Gil? What's your? Go ahead, Reggie. Which franchise failed for you?
The middle Batmans, the ones between the first.
Oh, you talking about Kilmer, Clooney?
Yeah, Kilmer, Clooney. All those Batmans were terrible. All of them.
I feel like Clooney's was like the absolute worst though.
I have a question about that though, since we're talking. Because I agree with you, Beasley, about that one was pretty bad. But I thought the supporting cast characters,
and I was gonna say that too,
was better than some of the newer Batman films in a way. Minus that one Joker, in the Dark Knight. Minus him. No. Minus. I'm talking about in the future. Minus Heath Ledger's Joker, and maybe Bane. I'll probably put Bane up there also. But like Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I enjoyed Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. I thought
Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
Yeah, I thought those were dope.
Everybody chill
dope
out.
Characters, you know what I'm saying?
DeVito as Penguin.
I thought they were like perfect actors for those roles. And I
wouldn't say better, but they're comparable. Yeah, sure. But your opinion, I guess. The Terminator, like I thought the first two were incredible. Like especially T2 was probably one of the best sequels I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I thought James Cameron murdered it. I thought if James Cameron could have continued to, do like play some part in the franchise. Maybe he doesn't have to direct, but at least produce some of the future ones. But now that we're getting further away from that, it just seems like they're trying to do different things in the story that sometimes that don't make sense, that don't mesh. And it seems like they're messing up, and they're trying to use the eraser to clear it up. And it's just like at this point, I'm not so hyped to see the Terminator as
their storyline is like this.
They changed it.
Yeah, they changed it. So you didn't like the newest one? You didn't like the newest one?
Dark Fate.
I didn't even watch that one yet.
So where does their timeline start? The last one I seen.
So it's 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, and then Dark Fate.
So 1, 2, and 3. Well, it's really 1, 2.
It's 1, 2, and Dark Fate.
And then Dark Fate is based off of 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but it's like
storyline
slightly different. It's slightly different though.
What's the one with Christian Bale? Is that Genesis?
That's Salvation.
Salvation.
That's its own shit too.
Yeah, it's 1 and 2 is the 1, 2, and the third, and the last one is the James Cameron one. So those are the ones that actually relate, because the Dark Fate one starts with them getting away and going to like Barbados or something like that, and then the Terminator comes and kills the son. You know what I'm saying? So that one kind of starts at the end of 2 in a way.
Yeah.
Like the James Cameron ones actually have a line and they go with it. The ones that he didn't do have like completely different stories where they doing other shit where fucking what's his name? Sean? What's his name?
John.
John is a Terminator now, and one of them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's the last one I've seen.
They went.
They like came back from the future, took over. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, they got different. You know what I'm saying? They got different ones.
What's the franchise that everybody loves but you hate though? And before we even started, we taking Fast and the Furious off the top, so I can't even say it. So Fast and Furious is gone. Other than Fast and Furious,
anything Tyler Perry. I'm done. Anything Tyler Perry.
You took that right out of my brain.
I'm done.
So everybody's gonna say Tyler Perry. I'm not gonna say Tyler Perry, but everybody's saying Tyler Perry.
For the sake of it being a diverse answer, I'm gonna say something else, but that is my original answer. But let's go. All right. What you got?
Love you, Tyler. By the way, Tyler Perry, we love you. If you want to spend money our way,
just gotta
don't say we.
Better on
don't say
hair
we.
And makeup.
Don't say we.
You gotta do better on hair and makeup, bro.
The thing is, that was my answer though, so I'm trying to figure out.
That was my actual answer, like dead ass. No
that's
bullshit.
your answer. Go with it, bro.
No bullshit. I'm gonna say something else just for diversity purpose, like
So go ahead.
flipping it up.
So go since
Since they ain't got nothing.
Yeah,
I
since
got.
Go ahead, Gills.
Transformers. I agree
with you on
Okay.
I can see that.
I agree with you on Transformers.
Hold on.
Why though?
Yeah, because I'm like, what do you not like?
It's just hard to find. I love Shia LaBeouf. I love Michael Bay. Like when I first came out, I was hyped too. And then just some of the action, I was just like, I just can't. I wasn't interested as far as like just blurry, machines fighting each other.
Their history is
and then their history gets crazy, and then I was just like, cool, but I'm not.
So
I'm not invested.
Did you watch the cartoon coming up?
Barely. I didn't.
See, that's part of the problem right there. That's part of the problem.
But what I say is, I don't like
what you're saying, sir.
I didn't like it because they not only did they kind of switch things. Because like I agree that if you watch the cartoons, you see things a little bit different, so you enjoy it a little bit more. But not only did they switch things, they switched characters too, right? Like so they gave us these dope films with Shia LaBeouf, and then boom, hit you with a different switch, and then boom, hit you with another different switch. You know what I'm saying? And I think now they're coming out with something new. It's going to be a different switch, and I think that's kind of what it is. But there are I like the Bumblebee solo film. I thought that was a dope film. So, I think that's really what Johnson it is. In it? Yeah.
I fucked with it. I just didn't. In the cartoon, you always get that sense of what's like important, like what they're fighting over. They're fighting. In some of them, they're fighting to try to like just keep Earth protected. Some they're trying to fight to like rebuild Cybertron. I feel like in the movies, like. Every movie, it was switched from, okay, this was the most powerful person to now there's 8 most powerful people. And this just happens to be the weakest one here. And then we're fighting over this. But really, once these dudes show up, this shit that we fighting over and trying to save the world with don't even matter no more. Like, to me, it was just all over the place. But mine was, I have a tie, actually. Mine is actually between and I don't really know if anybody really loved this franchise, but I've never really heard any people say anything bad about it. I felt like they fucked up the G.I. Joe franchise. I feel like now is their chance to try and swing and do it some justice with the Snake Eyes movie. But I felt like
that's interesting. I want to see that.
I want to see it. I felt like they could have done. There's a lot they could have done. And then my other one is, and also they didn't jump off to a hellified great start, but the Mortal Kombat franchise. But they trying, we'll see. But yeah, those were some that everybody was just like, oh my God. I guess it's just this great movie, and I'm just like, not really.
I got a lot of franchises.
I mean, yeah, I definitely have a lot.
I'm about to name them.
The
Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
The whole Middle Earth shit, I guess.
Yeah, you don't James Bond got on my nerves for a little while. Fucking the Twilight Saga bullshit get on my nerves.
Twilight's terrible.
Oh,
I don't know.
It's funny because all those that you just named have such a huge following.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying.
I disagree on that Lord of the Rings thing though.
I disagree on Twilight.
I haven't seen Hobbit, so I don't know.
Hobbit, I don't know about nothing about the Hobbit, but the Twilight, the Lord of the Rings joint.
Twilight, I only seen it. I
actually like the Lord of the Rings. I just don't think it's as. I just don't think it's as good. Like I feel the same way about Harry Potter. Like I think they're good films. They're just not as good as people make it seem out to be. I think they just played off the whole nerd thing.
It's the fans make it worse than what it actually is thing. Oh yeah.
Like yes, this is a great film. I enjoy the film, but bro, it's not as spectacular as we make it.
People dress up. You know, they have like little.
Got kids cutting their forehead to get the little. Come on, it's just too long. Just to name a few.
What question?
Go ahead.
What genre do you think produces the best franchise?
Horror.
Action.
What you got to?
I think horror is
right. I know my answer.
Horror is probably the right answer, but
I think personally I'm action first. So
yeah.
when it comes
To be-
to shit like that.
I was gonna say action, but I have a lot more on my list that's horror.
Like if you sit me down in front of a horror movie marathon or an action movie marathon, I'm definitely gonna watch the action movie marathon.
I just feel like some of the greatest horror films low key blow action trilogies or action franchises out of the water.
I think spy espionage is probably the best franchise or best franchises to me. Like here's what we can talking about: a Mission Impossible, a James Bond, or even a Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious is gone to the spy espionage. Like they're going around the world.
Bro, are these niggas even
missions.
spies anymore? Like
they're spies now.
What is this?
This spy side?
I used to think
These niggas-
spies.
Is not
The
spy.
whole last movie is about spies. Like really,
niggas
like,
are
to be honest with you,
astronauts
brother's
now.
a spy.
The whole last movie,
Brothers are
one of them are
spies,
that
And
last movie,
he's
the
like
franchise is not about
the
spies.
the franchise has delved into the spy categories.
Oh, I'd like to make an addendum to my top 3 and add Rocky. Cool. Go ahead.
Fuck
You want that in your top 3 favorites?
Yeah,
Fuck no.
you're tripping.
You can have.
Like I said,
I'm
most
gonna have all of
I'm
them.
with you.
I'm saying me
I'ma have all
personally.
of
I'm
I'm
with
just.
I know, because you tripping, Banks. That's life right there, man.
Top 10 grossing franchises.
Thank you, Terrell.
So we got Marvel Cinematic Universe at the top,
Okay,
of course.
so
We
action.
got 34 Marvel films out, right? Number 2 is Star Wars.
Science fiction. Action
Yeah.
and science fiction. So that's right there. Action and science fiction again.
Number 3 is Harry Potter.
Science
I'm
fiction.
not a huge Harry Potter fan. but-
Or
Fantasy. Wouldn't that be fantasy?
Yeah, fantasy.
Yeah. Number 4 is Batman, like just Batman by itself.
Okay, so they fall back into the action and science fiction again in comic books.
Number 5 is Spider-Man, like Spider-Man by itself.
Okay.
Then you got Avengers, X-Men,
Same thing.
DC Extended Universe,
Same thing.
James Bond,
Spies.
and we got Jurassic Park.
So like me and BC
So
said,
really,
action.
it's sci-fi.
It's action.
Action
and
or
science
sci-fi.
fiction.
Yeah.
Yo, no, that's going off what makes the most money. My nigga.
Yeah, that's money.
money.
Yes.
Horror films don't make money like that. They're cheap films.
Any final thoughts on franchises, guys?
No.
Any,
That's
any
the
think,
formula is
um,
two different
I
things.
think like the highest grossing films like of all time are gonna be franchises, and that's what it's gonna be for the foreseeable future. Like the only out of the top 50, like really is only like 3 or 2 out of them that are not franchise based, like Zootopia and like Titanic, pretty much. So I think franchises are here to stay, and I think it's always been a thing, but now the studio execs are now making concerted effort just to try to, see how much bread they can make off of turning that one movie into 3 or 4. So, but we're gonna see a lot more of this.
Avatar.
Anyone else? X.
I agree. I don't think franchises ever gonna go anywhere because it's all about money. Making film, making film is about making money. They're investments, so of course they're gonna try to, build a world where they can make multiple films, multiple characters, so they can make as much money as possible. Like you see, like with It, they're trying to make another, It that they're just gonna create something to make another It, and that's gonna be solely to make money.
One more to add on that I'm excited to see is Avatar, directed by James Cameron. That I guess the second one comes out in 2022.
How long have we been waiting? We've been waiting
Quite
for
some
a
time.
while.
But I heard they was filming them at the same time though. Like wasn't they filming
a minute ago?
The budget is like $1 billion, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, that's a lot to do. It's gonna take time to film 3 movies at one time, edit up 2-3 movies at one time anyway to make it. So that shit gonna it has been a minute though.
James Cameron keeping big budgets, and that's for sure.
All right, guys. So that's the show. Thank you for listening to the very pleasant and lovely conversation. We had some good, good arguments, good discussions here. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. When you at work, tell your people to subscribe to the podcast. Tell everybody. We having great conversations over here. And we out.
Certified real
Hey, I'm a little excited.
You heard it here first. Certified Real. Airborne.
You are now listening to Real Talk Podcast.
This is certified